Hello everyone and welcome back to another CrossFit Gymnastics workout. So as you could see in the intro there, it's a fairly high skill workout this week. It's going to be a 20-minute AMRAP of 3 bar muscle ups, 6 handstand push-ups, 9 toes to bar and 12 pistol squats. So a fairly long time to be working with these high skill movements. So it's going to be great for building muscular endurance across basically your full body. You've got a lot of pulling, pressing and lower body squatting in there as well. The key to this workout is being efficient with your movement, managing that fatigue, making sure that you're not hitting red line, and as always you're trying to move as best as you can. And the reason being is that these movements are all not very complementary to each other. So you've got your bar muscle up, a big kip that you're going to need and a big hip drive. Onto your handstand push-ups, you're going to need a big press, but once again you're going to need a nice big kip from the hips and the core. Third one, toes to bar, same thing, big kip. It's all coming from the core, so that's fatiguing. And then onto your pistol squats, again, sapping the legs, sapping the hips as we stand up. All these movements are just draining your hips, your core, and that drive that we need to keep banging out these reps. So management of fatigue is going to be key here. So I'm going to do my best just to try and stick to the point of each movement and just try and move through. There's going to be a lot to look at and a lot to take in, so just pause and rewind as you need to for each movement. With that being said, rather than really getting into the nitty-gritty of each movement specifically, I'll give you the scales and the options that I use this week. If you do want to dive into it a little bit more, I'm going to reference and I'll link some videos that I've made previously that really go all in on just the pistol, just the toes to bar, just the muscle up, and I'll link those above. And then you can pause the video, watch them, and then maybe come back if you want to further your knowledge on those. So let's start with toes to bar. So the reason I just chose this one first was you can actually warm up your kip and get your shoulders going, get everything nice and warm before you start trying to knock out bar muscle ups. So the toes to bar is a nice way just to ease into warming up these movements. The first position for your toes to bar is just warming up that kip, the beat swing. Feet together, point the toes, jump on the bar, active shoulder, pull into the bar, just some nice little kips, hollow and arch, as always, yeah. Next movement from there is just a kipping knee raise, so same kipping movement, but at the back position, you're gonna press into the bar, bring the knees up, keep the feet together as you come back into your arch, keeping nice and tight. Third movement is gonna be the kipping straight leg raise, so that's just not breaking at the knee this time. Exactly the same kip, press into the bar, but the legs stay straight, point the toes away, just to about parallel. So normally, everyone can do those three, the kip, the knee raise and the straight leg raise to some extent and maintain that kip. Once we move on to the next two progressions where we try and get our toes to the bar is where it usually tends to break down. Without, again, going into it too much, it's normally a weakness in the lats, the straight arm strength, being able to press yourself into the right position. So as I said before, the link is above for the full toes to bar video. That's got accessory pieces, strength builders, all that stuff, how to stop pendulum swinging. Give that a click if you want to delve into it a bit more. Next two movements, as you did with your knee raise, but this time at the back of the position, as your knees come up, and when you just to try and get the toes to the bar, come back down, back into your arch, press down, knees up, toes to bar. Try the straight leg variation, legs are straight, without breaking at the knee, toes to bar, get back into the arch. As I said, this might be where you struggle to get all the way up and your swing gets a little bit off. That's fine, just scale it back, pick one of the earlier ones. Me personally, for this workout, because it's quite a long workout, I would use the knees up with a little toe flick rather than the straight leg variation. The straight leg is closing a bigger angle, it's a bit more fatiguing on the hips. So for me, bringing the knees up in a little flick, I can maintain that for longer rather than closing that big angle with the legs. Next movement is a handstand push-up, so let's take a look at the progressions for that. For the handstand push-up, if you can't do them, what I'd like you to do is pick a scale where you're getting inverted. I just want you to use this time on the handstand push-ups to practice getting upside down to some extent. So your first option might be feet on a box, walk the hands in and just hold that position there like a pike hold. You can go wall facing hold, so a wall climb, walk all the way in, nose and toes to the wall, get nice and tight, push away. Hold that position, maybe 10 to 15 seconds hold, come back down. If you're confident to kick up to the wall, that'll be your next option. So kicking up to the wall, again, bringing the head through, trying to create that nice straight line. Hold that position, again, maybe 10, 15 seconds, just hold. Or you could do a combination of the two. So you could maybe do a wall facing hold or a kick up hold for 10 seconds and then maybe add in a feet on box push-up or a pike push-up. So you're getting a little combination of the two in that inverted position. So like I say, yeah, it might be a 10-second hold and 5 reps of a pike or feet on box push-up. With the pike and the feet on the box push-up, just make sure that you're creating that triangle position with your hands and your head, so that your hands are here, your head is here, and it's like a nice triangle, a nice solid base, and that the elbows are tracking behind. Basically, the head is going in front of the hands every time, not sort of straight down or even the head going behind the hands. The head's going forward, so that you're training, strengthening up that press in that inverted position. Last two options are a negative, so you could kick up to the wall and then control down to your head, maybe just a nice controlled descent. If you're kicking up and you're just crashing on your head, just stop, just don't do it. You're not strong enough to do that yet. But if you can, kick up, 1, 2, 3 and down. Maybe 1 to 3 reps of that. Negative, if you're scaling it down because you can't do pressing, that's going to be a big ask to do, you know, a lot of reps of that. So anywhere from 1 to 3 is going to help you build strength, but it's not too much of an ask for you to do. Then your last one is just full handstand push-ups. Kipping, feel free to kip all these movements today. I would advise it if you've got that in the locker. So before we move on to the bar muscle up as the last movement, we'll have a look at the pistol progressions. As mentioned before, I'm just going to pick 4 scales that you can use, and these are quite good progressions just to sort of see if there's any limitations, maybe strength or maybe hip mobility, ankle mobility. Again, just 4 progressions that I've used. I've made a completely separate video of the pistol squat with just going into so much more detail. So again, that link is above, click that. Have a watch of that if you maybe want to use some more progressions or understand maybe where you're at with your pistols. First progression today is a feet together squat. So the feet go right together, you're going to keep the heels down, send the knees out and just perform a normal squat there. So feet together squat. If you're getting stuck in the hips, you can't physically get that hip crease below the knee, then you might have some mobility issues somewhere, maybe in the ankles or the hips. That's just going to be a good indicator of where you're at with it. Second option is just to take one foot and hook it behind the other. So it's not actually on the floor, it's just pressing into that back leg. You're going to squat down the same way, and then to get yourself back up, you push that back foot into your leg and help you get back up from there. So this is just, again, building some strength and stability in that one leg, but giving you a bit of support from your other foot. Third option from there, and I like this one, it's very challenging actually, it's a really good strength builder. It's only 6 reps today on each leg, so this is going to be a good time just to build some strength. So this is a really good one. It's a reverse lunge, but what I want you to do is really try not to use the back leg at all today. So if you're going on your left foot, I want you to bring your right foot up and really just search back with that right foot, but try and drop into it with your left rather than just stepping back. Really try and drop with the left without using the right foot, just trying to glance the floor with your back foot, and then from there to get yourself back up. Shift the weight forward onto the foot that you're going to step from. That just allows you to load that leg up more and not use that back leg as much. Further from that, I don't think I videoed it, but what you can do is at the bottom of the lunge, if you feel like you are pushing off that back foot, just take it up off the floor, so you just have your knee on the floor, and you'll find that like try it now wherever you are, give it a go. Reverse lunge, bring that back foot off. You can't really push through your knee, so you've really got to use that leg, and it's really good for building strength in that extended range. Give them a go, make sure you're trying them on both legs. With all these progressions, try it on both legs, you're bound to have one better than the other. Last progression before you go for the full pistol is just holding on to something, maybe a set of rings or just one hand on a rig, just supporting. Control down, and you can actually just use that to stabilize you a bit and pull yourself back up. Again, just another good one for practicing getting into that full range. We never want to scale the range of the movement. With all your movements, with every single movement, you never really want to scale the range of the movement, because you'll only ever get strong in that range, and that's not what we want. We want to extend that range, so make sure that when you're scaling things, like for the handstand push-up, that you're not just putting your head on 4 ab mats and you're just like. And last movement, bar muscle up. I'm going to be honest now, the reason I put the bar muscle up at the end is because everybody loves a bar muscle up, don't they? They love a muscle up. It's sexy, man. That's what everyone wants to do. And it is, don't get me wrong, I really enjoy doing these movements. But if you practice that one first, you're going to spend so much time going through these progressions. You're probably not going to get a workout and you're going to be like, oh mate, I've been like practicing a bar muscle up for 48 minutes. So put that at the end so that you're almost time constrained, you know. It happens, you know who you are. The guys in my class, you know who you are. I think we spent like the majority of the session doing bar muscle up, so that was learning from my own mistakes. I started with the bar muscle up in the class, and then I was like, oh no, we haven't really got that much time, so we had to kind of like rush through all the others. So learn from your mistakes. I've moved it to the end. First position, you've got your kip, you've done your kip with a toe to bar, so you know what that feels like. Next movement is just going to try and do a kipping hips to bar, so trying to get the hips to the bar. This is just going to be one of them things like, if you're just not strong enough, you're not strong enough. With these bar muscle up progressions, we're just going to get through them fairly quick because it's either a yes or a no, especially in a workout of this nature. Like, you can either do them or you can't. If you can't, you scale it. If you can, go for it, happy days. If you can do that, you can probably do the muscle up on the bar. Like, if your hips are that high, all it is just a little pivot over and you're on top. Your last one is just to just try the bar muscle up. You've either got it or you've not. On that, you might have it, but you might be doing this weird chicken wing one where you're throwing one arm over and throwing the other. That's usually because you've pulled like this and you haven't pressed like this to get yourself up and over. You're trying to pull onto the bar by pulling yourself up rather than pressing yourself up and over. So if you pull the bar to here, you're never going to get over, but people who are fairly strong can just be like, get one over and then get the torso on and get the other one over and then lock out. Just stop it. Just stop doing it. Like there's no point. Like, option one, you're gonna put it on Instagram. I've done a bar muscle up. Everyone who can do them or knows what they're going on about is gonna look and go, that is hanging. That's awful. Why are you doing that? So don't do it. Number two, you're gonna injure yourself. Like, what is the point for one bar muscle up? We're using progressions now for 20 minutes worth of work. If you're just blagging one horrible KFC muscle up chicken wing, what's the point? Scale it down. Don't injure yourself. Stay away. So if it's not happening, you've got two options. Banded. Again, you need to know how strong you are. If you're struggling with that turnover on a band, don't do it. There's no point. The band is just there to support you for getting used to pulling up and over with that sort of double elbow at the same time. If you're chicken winging it on the bar, stop. You're not there. You're not strong enough. I don't like using bands for things. I don't like using bands for strength builders, but if I deem someone to be strong enough that they just need a little practice and a little bit of help from that band just to get up and over, and it's all looking good, and they can press out, come back down, and they're doing like 3 to 5 reps, no troubles, I'm happy for that. But if you're using the band but you can't even do a strict pull-up, again, no point, stop it. There's other things to work on. And then your last one from there, like I said, moving on from that is, if you've not got any of that, it's 3 pull-ups and then 3 press-ups. So you're just training, pulling and pressing strength, which is going to carry over to getting a bar muscle up. And there you have it. Done. Loads of progressions to go away and work on. Like I said before, it's a 20-minute AMRAP, 3, 6, 9 and 12. All the details are below. You've got a warm-up in there, all your skill progressions and the actual workout, and then things to be thinking about. So that's in the description below. Check that out. Manage that fatigue. Pick the right scales. So make sure that you hit that like button. If you took anything away from this video, click the subscribe button so you're always getting notified when more of these workouts come out. And get after it, guys. Have fun. Look after yourselves. See you in the next one.